coming. Hey everybody, it's Tuesday, March 15th, and we are coming to you from out of the cellar.
I quit!
And Chris is running away. Homer's here too.
Yeah.
So,
It was my turn to be late today.
yeah, even though we were both late.
Yeah. Well, I was more late than you this time.
Yeah, I got
Now, the plan is, I think next week we both get here at like 10 o'clock, but Chris doesn't let us in until like 11:30.
Right.
We got to take turns.
Yeah. I got my truck stuck on the way here.
True story. True backyard stories. I had to run. Sorry, I went away.
Yeah.
I thought a bird was getting in.
Glad you could make it, finally.
Yes! Uh-oh. Homer's making messes.
I started before everybody was ready.
See ya! No, don't worry about it.
Oh, fuck! No!
Oh, shit!
Neck dick.
Dick. Who are you? Ah, Venture Brothers.
So for those of you just joining us, I ruined someone's couch.
Yeah. It's over.
And it was a wonderful couch. Factory new.
We did just buy. That was a wedding gift from Salvation Army.
Don't get that close.
Oh wait,
Just
sorry.
talk into it.
I need to watch Homer because Homer does perfect.
Yeah.
If I move my mushroom so that it's more,
That's perfect.
is that okay?
Yeah.
I feel Homeric.
Yeah.
Apparently, I found my calling in life. It's being at the exact right distance from a microphone.
Yep.
You're natural.
I just need to find a way to get paid to do that. Maybe pose for ads and catalogs.
Yeah.
You could be a microphone model.
There we go.
There's got to be need for that.
It's a growing industry.
Mm-hmm.
All those podcasts that the kids are doing these days.
Yeah, they need somebody to show them how to use microphones.
I did. I'm 39 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Homer came in here knowing it's like in Dune when Prince Atreides put his still suit on right. Homer just came in, sat down, and
Yeah,
he was podcasting from the
or
moment.
or in Fallout 4 where even if you play as the wife who was not in the military, it's just like, oh, okay, that thing you're supposed to get trained for?
Listen,
yeah. I'll just pop right in there.
She had spent enough time with her husband to know how to use power suits.
Yeah.
I can run those sewing machines at that factory where my wife works, and I've never seen them. I could do what she does. She could repair bicycles. When you're in a union.
That's the secret.
Mm-hmm.
That's the bike shop secret, is that we
Anyone
can't
can do
do
it.
anything that you can't do. We
Call Rachel in.
So what's going on?
I got some bullet points here, but I mean, I think we should introduce some of our listeners that may not have met everyone here, because I think everybody that hears it has met me.
Yeah.
Some of the people most of them have met you.
Yeah, because I'm the host. Everybody knows me. I'm the host.
And nobody knows the carriers, Homer and I.
Yeah.
I don't know how important it is to you, Homer, to have aspects of your identity known to these people who, I'm sure it's not important at all.
I mean, that'll probably get slowly revealed. Okay,
Put that shit away, Max.
yeah.
Put that shit. Max smuggled a hedgehog into my house in his shirt and started petting it.
Yeah, apparently. Well, you know what? How about I start off with a minor event in my life that will also reveal a little bit about me as a person.
Was that when you spilled the Coke on the couch?
Yes.
Oh man, I was hoping this event involved a minor.
My long-standing Coke spilling habit. No. Recently on Saturday, in fact, me and the lifter went out and we turned over some dirt in our backyard, getting ready for the garden,
Yeah.
and we've got some straw that we put under our rabbits' cages. We have rabbits
Yeah.
that we're going to try to breed and have like a little rabbit farm going, basically.
That's right. How did the breeding experience go? Did you guys make some rabbit porn there?
No, we didn't record it. This one's just for us. Just a little experience that we can share. No, we got some straw under there, and apparently it's not been in there very long, but it's been decomposing very well. Like I started removing one of the top layers of the straw, and there's just this smoke billowing up.
Nice.
From how hot it was. So
That's good. That's what I'm about to have chickens. My wife wants chickens really bad, and I pushed it off last year, but this year I think it's going to happen, and I think that's what keeps them somewhat warm in the winter. If you don't want to use electric stuff, you can use the composting of their dookie to heat the hen house somehow. I don't know anything about it. I'm talking out my ass right now, but
yeah, it could
that's what
be.
I'm banking on. I'm banking on their shit keeping them warm, so I don't have to.
At the very least, it'll add some insulation value if you lay down some straw.
We almost went yesterday to get chickens. Our insane laziness is the only thing that has prevented it. I don't know what the three of us would be doing right now if there were chickens in my backyard.
I for one would be looking at the chickens.
You know what? They'll be babies. So we would be in here playing with the chicks, and the kitties.
Baby chickens.
Me and yeah. Gross.
And you've even got a little cage set up in here.
We do have the chicken coop. Chicken coop table. Wait, that's not a coop.
It's a crate.
Chicken crate. Yeah.
Talk louder and into the microphone.
No. No. Maybe. Yeah. All right.
I did a lot of gardening over the weekend.
Ooh.
I don't have any chickens yet, but I'm gonna work towards getting some chickens probably once I leave here.
Oh man.
I did a whole bunch of fishing, though.
Oh my God! Somebody has busted out Animal Crossing.
Yeah, well, no, I busted out the better version of Animal Crossing.
Harvest Moon?
No.
Stardew Valley?
Yes. Stardew Valley is fucking amazing.
I've never even heard of it.
It's the best game I've played in a long time.
God damn it! So you're bringing a new game that you haven't even told me about?
Yeah.
And Homer knows about it.
Because I just started playing it yesterday and I have 10 hours in it already.
All right, I tell you assholes what. That's going on my quarter sheet of paper.
It's so good.
How's it spelled?
Stardew, one word.
okay.
Valley. Like dew as in the morning dew.
Or as in the do that you do?
Yeah, do the dew.
When you do the do?
All right. My wife's probably going to love that.
Yeah. I don't know if they have a Mac build. It's PC. It's a PC game.
PC Master present.
Yeah. Let's see. It's so good. It's like it's the perfect blend of Animal Crossing and Harvest Moon.
All right. I'll look into it.
It's got a little bit of character customization. Eventually you get shit where you can wear stuff. It's got elements of either Minecraft or Terraria. Pick your survival game. It is what's the game? I'm trying to think of the game. What's the game I'm trying to think of?
I don't have any idea.
It's a 16-bit game. I forgot what it looks like. It looks kind of Chrono Trigger.
Pilot Wings.
It kind of looks like Chrono Trigger from an art style perspective.
Chrono is definitely one of my triggers.
Yeah. but like 8 of those 10 hours I just spent fishing.
There's nothing like wasting time in a good fucking like fishing or
because you can collect fish almost not unlike Animal Crossing.
you get a little
There is not, as of yet, there is not a museum to donate fish to. There is, however, a museum to donate artifacts and books to.
so there's some digging.
Yes. What was the name of the owl from Animal Crossing?
Blathers.
Blathers. Okay. This owl is named Gunther.
Hey, what?
Well, he's not an owl. He's a man, but he kind of looks like an owl. There's some definite homage going on here.
Gotcha. Is there a mayor of your town? And is he
Yes,
tortoise-like.
he is an old man.
Did you play Animal Crossing?
No, not any of the iterations.
We have played a lot of, my wife included, a lot of Animal Crossing.
There are also there's a marriage aspect to this game. There are 5 eligibles from each gender.
Oh my God!
I was invited to the flower dance yesterday. This is my most recent day in the game, so it is a day cycle game. You have to go to bed. The latest I managed to stay up was like 1:30, and then I just passed out in the middle of a field and was dragged home. So I got invited to this flower dance, and then all of the females rejected me.
Wonderful.
None of them wanted to dance with me.
Fantastic. The flower dance is a yearly humiliation of the new villager.
Yeah.
Wonderful. I'll have to look into that. I need a game. I have not been playing games for too fucking long.
I upgraded my fishing rod already. Went from bamboo to fiberglass. So there's a leveling aspect to this also. The more you do something, the better you get at it. I think the level cap is 10. I'm a level 4 fisher right now. A level 3 farmer.
Ooh, 8 hours,
10.
4 levels.
Yeah, well,
8 hours fishing. Sorry.
Yeah. There's also combat. You'll run into some enemies. After playing for a little bit, you get a sword.
Is this a fucking RuneScape skin that you're playing?
No.
Are you just playing a RuneScape?
No.
All right.
I got a dog. The dog just showed up at my door one day. I named it Fuck.
As well you should.
Yeah. The dog did show up with a person who found the dog also. There was a nice little moment there where the person with the dog asks you what you want to name the dog. So I type in Fuck. And then the person says, well, Fuck.
Great
You be
name.
a good boy now.
Be a good boy.
I highly recommend it to anybody out there who is into PC gaming and likes Animal Crossing.
All right. I'm going to have to look into it. We need to get a PC.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, I don't know
You console scrub.
what benefit this podcast is going to receive from me lamenting the fact that I need to put hardware into my house.
We need to get sponsors.
That's it. Our Patreon.
You mean Patreon?
Oh, fuck. I knew that I was going to do it the wrong way because I did it the wrong way last time and you jumped up my ass and I was like, no. This time I'm doing it with the soft.
Well, see, we're not in England right now. We don't say patrons. We say patrons.
Patronage.
No.
Patron?
Yes.
I just assumed it had something to do with Patron. Wait, is that Jay-Z's fucking
No.
tequila?
No.
No, his vodka was Ciroc, right?
Yeah.
Ciroc!
Was that his or was it Diddy's?
Oh, shit, I can't even... Oh, man. We're really doing these guys a disservice.
They were so tight that they just kind of shared brands.
I don't know if we can do Jay-Z any more disservice than he has already done to himself.
Jay-Z has certainly played himself. Yeah. Your boy! Maybe we should spend a half an hour trying to make Jay-Z noises.
Nah, I'm good. I got mine in.
Woo! Wait. Oh, shit. That was not Jay-Z.
Yeah, that was Will Smith.
Yeah. I went Big Willie style for a minute.
There is kind of a lot of overlap there, though.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Maybe noises are just assigned to a specific era because the Big Willie style was the same era as Jay-Z's highest point.
That's true. Oh, I just can't help but
Who copied who?
thinking about Jaden Smith every time I hear about Will Ferrell.
Will Ferrell?
Will Smith. Will Ferrell. When I think of Ricky Bobby, I think of that kid that Jaden and Will had. Jaden Smith and Will Ferrell.
How can Will Ferrell be real if our eyes aren't real?
Yeah.
I don't remember what the original first part of that tweet was, but
that was it. You quoted it. That was the exact tweet.
but I do remember something about if our eyes aren't real.
I do feel bad because as Max said, I came into the shop hard making fun of like really hard. I came in the shop fully torqued, making fun of. Oh shit! Now I can't remember the motherfucking name of this kid that we're talking about.
Willow
right?
Smith?
Jaden Smith. Yeah. Wait. Fuck. Jaden's the mom.
No,
That's Jada.
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 Jada Pinkett Smith.
Oh, I am.
Willow is the daughter.
I am doing this.
I've just now made that connection.
Wait. They
Jade-
have a daughter, Willow.
Yeah, Jada and Jaden, Will and Willow.
Whew, okay. All
They're
right.
they're narcissists.
They
Like even
they
for
are
celebrities.
Not. They
no?
are Homer. These are down to earth people. Will
Wait.
Smith. You can't
What was Jada's character's name in The Matrix?
Morpheus.
No.
Neo. Trinity. Joey Pantaleone. Pantaleone.
No, it was Rabbit.
Really?
No.
Fuck you. You only get one chance, Jada. Do not miss that chance. Fuck me. I'm too drunk for this.
Rabbit was the scrawny little white kid that, like, died while he was trying to defend the base from the machines.
Now, is Rabbit the guy that's now on Saturday Night Live who did all the YouTube videos?
No, because, like, anybody who was in The Matrix is, like, 80 years old now.
Oh, fuck, time passes. Yeah, I forgot. Unless you're Will Smith.
80 years old. I mean, it's been like 13 years or whatever since the movie came out.
When did The Matrix hit? Wasn't that pre...
2000.
It was?
Was it 90?
I thought it was 99.
I don't know. It's really
Yeah.
important.
It's important. You should use your phone to find it out.
I'm not doing that.
You should use your phone to contact your loved ones.
Yeah, Keanu Reeves is 51 years old.
Whoa.
So he's like 65 now or something?
What was it? I'm Special Agent
In his
Johnny Utah of the FBI. I have not
Point
watched
Break.
that movie.
If this
anytime
podcast
recent
goes
enough.
under 50 miles an hour, we all die.
Oh man, that's some good movie right there. We need to. That was called Speed.
Yep.
Yep.
Sandra Bullock was in that also.
She was not the bus driver, but she ended up driving that bus.
Yeah.
Another great movie she made was The Net. Did you? Neither of you seen The Net?
No.
I'm not surprised. You shouldn't have watched it. I think The Net was one of those movies in the late 90s where the paranoia, the internet paranoia was hitting everybody.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, her whole identity and shit got stole, and she just went through some terrible shit. Go watch it tonight.
No.
We'll talk about it next week.
And now it's like, oh, my identity got stolen. Guess I better call the bank. Okay, problem solved. I'm just kidding. If you have to call the bank, there will never be a solving of problems.
Yeah, your problems have only just begun.
I would agree with that.
I do want to watch John Wick, actually. I haven't seen that. In fact, I don't think I've seen any movie with Keanu Reeves in it in years.
Is that a newer Keanu?
Yeah.
Newer one.
I saw Keanu doing a 3-gun drill for the sequel of John Wick.
On
He's
YouTube
like-
or something?
What?
On YouTube or something?
Yeah. He was doing all right.
Yeah, he's an all right guy. He actually, any money he gets for his movies, or I don't know if it's like he gets it and then he gives it to other people, or if he just defers payment. But basically, all his money actually goes to like the crew that work on the movie. And he stated that he's already made enough to last him several lifetimes. So
Are you are you serious?
yeah,
Yeah, there's like...
So this dude that
There's
everybody's
video
been
of
making fun of forever for being a space
He's
case
like a super
goof,
nice guy.
He's just dope.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like there's videos
damn
of
it.
him like sitting on a subway because he just rides the subway like a normal dude. And then there's one specific
Now-
video of him like seeing this woman and just getting up so she can sit down.
yeah.
Damn.
Then he just stands there.
Was Keanu I can't say was Keanu always a bro? Or is this just kind of
Probably.
like he's grown into a very calm, awesome? Because that's badass. I really respect that.
I don't have any idea.
We should reach out to him, see if he'll be willing to
Get a guest spot.
be
on
our
the
first
show.
fourth microphone on the couch.
There we go.
Man, that's really interesting.
It'll be nice to have someone who talks less on this podcast than me.
Whoa.
Yeah. Should we, now's, I guess, as good a time as any to seg into the Project Runway segment. I know Homer and I have been keeping up
All right,
very well.
I'll be back.
Yeah, keeping up. I watched another episode from the first season.
Yes.
That's how much I'm keeping up.
See, I'm so excited to expose Homer to this. He's on the third or fourth episode.
Fourth episode of season 1.
And Homer has nothing to do with fashion. Homer has nothing to do with any real aesthetic like thing that I'm aware of. You never really fucked with art or drawing. I mean, were you ever into that? Any of that arty shit?
Not really.
All right. So Homer comes to Project Runway as just, a normie kind of. I don't know. Man, I'm describing this bad, but no matter what fucked up handicap I'm shittily describing that Homer is bringing to this show, he has the wherewithal to understand that Wendy Pepper's clothing is shit, and that Wendy Pepper should have been gone in the first 2 or 3 episodes just based on the clothing that she was making.
Putting Wendy Pepper on blast right now.
I'm putting Wendy, and this is some really hashtag relevant shit right now.
Current affairs.
Yeah. Project Runway
Clothing is
season 1.
in quotation marks.
Oh God,
especially the first 2 because she didn't even do anything.
No, she
and
sprung
either
some
one.
candy and half the balloon shit that those little balloons.
Yeah. Oh boy,
it was disgusting. But they're insistent on dragging her fucking lame ass as far as they can. I'm not going to tell you how far she goes, but they've established a pattern of having Wendy Peppers in these seasons. They have a designer that can't hack it, but that they know everyone hates. And this is a trend that's driving me nuts because I watch a lot of real bad TV, especially when I'm not gaming. And I'm not gaming right now, so you bet your sweet ass I'm watching a lot of fucking terrible TV. We'll talk about Survivor later. But I'm getting annoyed by being annoyed with the people that they're forcing me to watch. I mean, I get that conflict is part of narrative sometimes and a necessary part of narrative, but I don't know that I benefit from hating every person on screen the majority of the time. I don't know. End rant. I'm fully done. You guys are... It's the rest of this is all you.
I mean, you must be getting something out of it. I think it's that when people get angry, the brain releases some endorphin or chemical or whatever, and in a weird way, it can feel good, or it can have addictive qualities.
It must be addictive in some way. Because I do. I'm drawn to this behavior, even though I'm not really smiling while I'm... And it is super strange, especially we're watching... Okay, so for the podcast, I love saying that. For the podcast, I started watching the recent season of Survivor. And it might have just also been to satisfy some morbid curiosity, but the later... We downloaded earlier seasons, so we've started the first season, and we're really deep into the first season. And I think I know who wins it, but we're pushing forward. Boy, I just lost that thread entirely.
That's what happens to me every time. I will interject with Stardew Valley is not available on Mac.
All right.
Fuck.
Now I know it was the most recent season. I don't know how recent exactly, but there was a guy. Did he almost die, or did he technically die and then was revived? I know they put it on television, and a lot of people are upset.
Wow, it's Survivor?
Yeah.
Maybe they're talking about the last episode where like 3 or 4 people got heat stroke, and one of them was medevaced from the island because he had gone too far down the heat stroke hole. It was weird. It was kind of gross. They're just out in the hot sun, working real hard, and the adrenaline gets them all freaked out, and the whole team aspect kind of adds to it, and they all just overexert and end up half dead. This shit's weird. It is a weird show. It takes a weird person, I think, first of all, to really go as far as all of these contestants. Every one of these contestants did a lot to get on that show. They exerted effort. They made videos, I'm sure. They, I don't know, launched some weird grassroots local campaigns in some cases. These are weird driven people. And I don't know.
I mean, you have to be on any kind of reality television.
Yeah. Because it's not just like they randomly send out, apps. They cold call people. Hey,
You want to be on Survivor?
you want to be on Survivor? No, they've got a huge number of people that every fucking one of those people thinks they're the fucking jam. They think they're gonna. Nobody goes on to this shit thinking they're gonna lose. They all think.
They do run casting calls, like an open casting call for contestants for each season, though.
So they have a cattle call, I think is what they're called.
I guess so.
Okay. So they may not have necessarily the make videos and all the crazy shit that
Well, no, they
Project Runway or American
'cause
Ninja Warrior.
I remember them saying, like, one of the few episodes I actually saw happened to be a season finale or something. They were like, "Send us your tapes. Send us your audition tapes."
Oh, all right.
I think they do that on The Amazing Race also.
Okay. Yeah, I know Project Runway. They send in tapes. They make these weird tapes. American Ninja Warrior, I think same.
Yes.
But then American Ninja Warrior also has an open casting point where once everyone that's been selected from all the applicants and whatever, like they have a certain amount of time for just normies off the street to give it a shot.
It's also indicative of how old that episode of Survivor is that I saw where they said, "Send in your tapes."
Yeah. No, this is also it's a whole lot of fun seeing old tech, old being fucking, 10 years old in some cases.
I mean, that's just about
old enough.
ancient.
Yeah.
Well, not ancient. That's, that's more
That's ancient.
I don't remember.
not quite ancient. That's more like Renaissance era or Middle Ages.
There you go. Yeah.
Ancient would be like those huge room-sized computers from like the 50s.
That's ancient.
I thought
like
you were gonna
me.
say. I thought you were gonna say just like a rock with a picture of your face, crudely drawn on with charcoal.
That could be ancient. Rub my eye on the mic.
But yeah, Survivor's been on for how long was it? 16 years?
16
16
years.
fucking years.
Yeah.
32 seasons.
32
2
seasons.
seasons a year. They've used the same host, I'm assuming, because I think the guy that we picked up at season 32 is the guy who started in season 1. And that host's kind of a dickweed. He's kind of a chump. Like, his main job is just to be loud yelling cheerleader during challenges and shit. And then tribal council shows up and he tries to ask these
Jeff Probst.
shitty yeah, that's his name. He asks him these shitty questions like, so, what do you think about this whole alliance shit? Like trying to get them to reveal things that they know that they're trying to keep hidden. It's pretty absurd. He's a real peckerhead. He's a hard drink of water.
Starts asking for their social security numbers. What can I get your bank's routing number?
Gosh.
How do you feel about your bank's routing number?
Man, There is one guy. Nah, I'm not even gonna start talking about contestants. There are so many dumb contestants on this shit.
Oh, yeah.
Making so many bad decisions. But again, it's easy to sit on a couch and watch that
Also,
shit.
it's not as entertaining to watch people go on to something like this and be competent. In fact,
Is that a proven thing? Have we had a chance to watch people be competent on TV ever yet?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I do it
I'm
all
just
the time.
watching the wrong
Not
fucking
like
shows
reality, not reality TV,
Okay.
not like competitive type shows, but I mean like Ray Mears, for example. He's a British bushcrafting guy.
He makes his own bush?
Yep, he goes out.
I'm doing it right now.
Nice.
No, that's bushcrafting is basically camping.
Only it sounds like you're not a bitch.
It's camping, minimalist camping. Basically, you go in with as few things as possible, and
Yeah. Survivalist type shit.
like George Washington Sears, what he just thought of as a relaxing thing to do. He even in his book, I don't remember what it's called, but you can look it up. It's in the public domain. It came out like 100 years ago. He says that the idea of going into the woods isn't to rough it, but to smooth it.
Nice.
Basically,
Yeah,
get
okay.
away and
100 years ago.
get away from the city and everything. But anyway, yeah, he does bushcraft. You can see some of the stuff he's done on YouTube. And I actually remember watching in an episode of one of the shows he's done where he goes somewhere in South America. He goes to this little village out in the middle of nowhere, and he actually teaches them like how to start a fire through friction, because none of them know how. They use lighters and matches that they have to spend like a week going somewhere on a boat to get matches and lighters and
That's kind of interesting.
yeah.
I mean, I would have a tough time deciding between primitive fire building and a week's vacation off to Rio where I have to buy a lighter using the entire village's wealth. I might take that Rio trip, but I'm a real lazy piece of shit. And a great candidate to take care of chickens.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, that's something that occurred to me. Like, oh, well, we almost got chickens, but we decided we were too lazy. And so, man,
Fuck you,
Maybe-
Homer.
maybe it's good that you're not getting chickens.
I have a wife motivator. My main wife motivator is not broken. It is not going out. I'll do anything for my wife, I think, almost, probably. And that was me saying something nice for her on the podcast. And me demonstrating to you chumps how to treat a woman when you lure her into
So,
your life.
Again, speaking of chickens and how to treat women in Stardew Valley,
Let's get back into that.
it's so good. Goddamn, I love this game. So I'm not quite sure how the courting process works in this game yet.
Clearly, as you were rejected at the flower dance by every female present.
Yeah. But at one point, I was trying to give one of them a daffodil, and it said, "You have already given Abigail 2 gifts this week. Line break. That's enough."
Oh man, she's really had her fill with your shit.
And I haven't built my chicken coop yet either because I've been too lazy. I've been having too much fun fishing.
Too lazy to build a chicken coop in a video game.
Yeah.
Well, because I have this 18-inch chub that I keep pulling out of the river.
And you're not getting dances at the flower
I
dance?
know. I just don't think they can handle it.
No, yeah, that's it. We've seen a clear. You need to re-roll your character with a more normal sized chub. Something that's not going to scare everybody.
I do have a 36-inch shad also.
Have you exposed it yet?
Yeah, I sold it immediately.
Oh man. Yeah, you're doing it wrong. You're going to attract the wrong kind of attention, I feel. Your village isn't big enough for that kind of shit.
Does the game ever say anything about how thirsty you are.
No, not yet.
Any thirsty hoes up in Stardew.
There is an energy meter that you will run down. Like every time you do an action, every time you chop a tree or cast your rod,
It's like stamina.
yeah, it drops a couple points. And I think that levels up over time. You get stronger. It's weird because this game's set in like modern day. You finally get fed up with your day job of sitting in a cubicle.
Oh.
Yeah. Actually, the game opens up with your grandfather on his deathbed handing you a letter that says, he says something like, when your bright spirit has finally diminished and it is conquered by a growing emptiness, open this letter. That's how you'll know it's time.
The day you get ready to kill yourself,
Yeah.
salary man.
You open the letter and there's a gun.
It's just like
see you in hell.
it's the deed to his farm. And you get there and it's all run down.
Like okay. Like I couldn't have gotten a jump start on keeping the farm running.
Yeah.
I needed to drive myself to the point of misery and near suicide to take over the fucking family farm. That's crazy.
So I'm doing it again. The song Ah Leah by Donnie Iris is stuck in my head because one of the female characters is named Leah. So I've been kind of listening to that song as I'm playing this game. The soundtrack is pretty alright also. It's got an Animal Crossing vibe.
That never hurts. Animal Crossing's music was very enjoyable. I always felt that way. I'm still kind of disturbed that Homer never played any Animal Crossing, but I'm working my way through it.
We never had any Nintendo consoles, so.
Oh man. Is that due to Doctrine? Is that like a Xenu dictated thing?
No, it's weird. I remember once I actually got curious, like why did we have like the Sega Genesis and then go from there to PlayStation?
Because Genesis does what Nintendo don't. That's why.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No, and I asked
just
my
got
dad if he could remember if there was like a specific reason or whatever, and he was like, "Yeah, that was just the one we went with."
Huh.
So,
Man, that would be weird. Asking your father, who's that age, why. So, Dad, during the great console decision of that era, how did we end up going toward the PlayStation? What are you talking about? Fuck you, I don't know. It was in a box at a store, and I had enough money, and you guys were bitching about it.
The video game machine.
the Nintendo.
Your goddamn Nintendo. Turn off a Nintendo and go outside. No friendo, bitch. I liked No Friendo.
Oh, well, I looked at it and I decided that the Sega CD just didn't have the same kind of future ahead of it as the Sony PlayStation.
I was thinking about the titles, and I didn't see a future that would be fun to play.
Now,
We
Dreamcast,
need-
that's a system with some future. It's got legs on it still.
I have very little Dreamcast experience.
The Virtual Boy, you mean? I'm pretty sure that's the one that's still got some legs on it.
Yeah. Uh-huh. The kids are really into the two-color displays these days.
Oh, yeah. Well, some of them kind of are. There's more than a few games that have a quote retro unquote look to them that don't actually look at all like old video games.
Yeah. Stardew Valley is one of those. It's like, it looks 16-bit, but it's not 16-bit.
I don't mind that.
Yeah.
I don't mind that. I don't. As long as the design's good, I just don't give a shit how it could look 8-bit. If it's fun to play and looks all right, not gonna be too picky.
Now, Luftrausers, that's a game that has a retro but modern art style that looks amazing.
What was that?
Luftrausers was a 2D plane game.
Flying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Give me Pilot Wings any day.
No.
Pilot Wings 2.
No.
Oh yeah.
I'm more of a Panzer Dragoon man myself.
What's coming out? What games are coming out soon? Is there
I don't give
anything?
a fuck. I'm playing Stardew Valley. That's how good this game
Hey,
is.
fair enough.
The Division is out.
Oh right, stand in line to get a game and then
Yeah.
log in and stand in line to play the game.
The queuing sim.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Made for the UK.
And then they've got a little mini game inside that game where you play a guy who is waiting in line to buy a game, and in that game, within the game, you also are waiting in line at the DMV.
We're all in this simulator right now. We're just not in line waiting.
It's waiting for video games all the way down.
Goddamn right. and that's a great way to live.
Mortal Kombat XL came out March 1st, which was a basically Game of the Year edition of MKX.
I did bump back into some fighting games there briefly, but it's been a few years. Picked up one of the newer Street Fighter editions. I think that was on the 360.
Hey, Pilot Wings came out for the 3DS.
Ooh.
On the 3rd.
Oh, the final Dark Souls is going to be coming out at some point. You can even pre-order it.
That's right.
The final?
Yeah.
Is it really the final one?
I would believe this.
That's what it's looking like.
Yeah, the creator has been pretty clear about that, I believe. I'm going to defer to Homer. I'm sure he knows more about it, as I don't know anything about shit.
You never beat 2, did you?
God damn it! Shut up! No, because I was playing through 2 when...
Crying about all these games that aren't out when you haven't even finished Dark Souls 2.
Yeah. I was playing through that, and something else came out, and I can't remember what, but then the PS4 hit, and I just have not had my 360 plugged in since.
Bloodborne?
I
don't know.
I've been every few weeks, I'll turn Bloodborne back on and make a little bit of progress, and that's enjoyable. Did you ever try that at all?
Bloodborne, no.
Yeah. It's different. It's kind of soulsy, but it's different enough that it's got a bunch of people's panties in a bunch.
Yeah, you parry instead of blocking.
Yeah. I mean, there's a parry in Dark Souls, but
they only just recently added shields to Bloodborne.
Oh man, there's some DLC with shields.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go, man. That's how you do it.
I don't know why they would do that. I mean,
because the people cried so much about there not being shields.
I don't want to have to learn a mechanic in a different game using a gun. I want to learn a mechanic from a game that I've already played using a thing from that game.
Yeah. I don't want a new game. I want the same game again.
Well, then okay, just
go
delete your save and play that shit.
No. Call of Duty is for casuals.
Fucking losers.
They're not one of those filthy casuals.
Yeah. Okay.
So, I don't know,
like
man.
distributor
I don't know what else there is.
Ryan.
No, I also did
Mr.
not
G.
beat Dark Souls 2.
Mr. G. What?
I also did not beat Dark Souls 2.
You know what? We had a little bit of we played Dark Souls together briefly.
Yep.
And I remember we did a couple bosses. You summoned me. Do you remember what bosses? Was it the Capra Demon?
I don't remember. One of them might have been the Scorpion Woman.
That's right. We whooped her ass. You were down in Blighttown.
Blighttown is from Dark Souls 1.
Oh wait, I thought we played Dark Souls 1 together.
We did.
Okay.
But I mean Dark Souls 2.
Oh yeah.
I never beat that, and
you know what? I was thinking Spider Woman.
yeah.
Yeah, we were in the woods. I remember. Okay. God.
And I mean I got one character. I mean, not that there's like a linear progress that you can really track, but so I don't know how far I gotten in terms of like overall progress. I got to there was that forest with all the lion warriors, and after a while I got frustrated. Didn't touch it for months. Played for like 5 minutes as a sorcerer.
Woo!
And I just
Starting over is rough.
I don't know, man. It's more effort than I feel like putting into a game right now.
Yeah.
It's not bad. It's not even that I dislike it. And I really hate that I'm not finishing it because I got it relatively new, like shortly after it came out
Yeah.
as a gift, and it's like, I feel guilty for not beating this game.
Well, and I think Dark Souls is a good, I'm glad I finished it. I do need to work toward finishing 2 and Bloodborne. I might wait till they release it for the PS3 or something. Or I might do it on PC.
Re-release it for the PS3.
Or, wait. It's so amazing how many dumb things I say. Is that amazing?
I think they might have already re-released it on the PS4. In
Okay.
fact, I know they did.
Maybe I should
yeah.
try that on PC.
You could do that, but you don't have a PC.
No, I'm talking about future plans. I don't have any children yet either, but I've got plenty of things that I've got earmarked for them to do when they're here.
Uh-huh.
Starting
Lots of plans to circumvent child labor laws.
absolutely. Oh, there's the lady across the street. My wife says that she reminds her of the sister from The Heart She Holler that is not the real skanky one. What? God, I can't remember her name.
Never watched it.
You never watched The Heart She Holler?
No.
No,
You motherfuckers. This is
It's sitting on my hard drive because you
shit
gave
is
it to me.
unforfucking-givable.
Never watched
Unforgivable.
it.
Fuck you. Well, if you look out the window and see that lady in her nightie walking around in the yard like it's not the craziest shit you've ever seen.
Yeah, I'm good.
See her over there? Hold on. I'm going to reveal myself to her. Oh, well. My wife's going to be so disappointed. My wife's going to be disappointed that I can't remember the name of the character. The Heart She Holler is a filthy, fucked up good series. I mean, it is some dank, nasty, nasty shit. I laughed. We've watched it more than once. I know it's up you two fuckers' alleys. I don't give a shit if you don't watch it. I don't give a shit if you turn away from all the good in life. Fuck you. Cry yourself to sleep every day. Those tears taste delicious.
It's funny you say you don't give a shit, but it seems...
This effort has nothing to do, no bearing on the shits that I'm giving. No bearing on the shits that I'm withholding, I guess I should say.
You're a little close.
Huh?
A little close.
Oh. There we go.
Have you learned nothing under my tutelage?
Yeah.
I learned how to do this. Do you know that when you licked the mic last week, it didn't make any noise? You silent mic fillator. I can't remember any of the daughters' names from Heart She Holler. God damn it. Oh, well. Mabel, who did the voice, well, Jesus Christ. The lady who did the voice of Mabel in
Gravity Falls. Kristen Shaw.
Kristen Shaw plays one of the daughters in The Heart She Holler in the first season. It's brilliant. It's so good. And then she gets replaced by, Amy Sedaris, I think. That's a weird swap.
Like the same character
Yeah,
is played by Amy Sedaris in the second season.
Yeah, and she falls
Oh, boy.
really flat. I mean, she doesn't do. Kristen Shaw was brilliant. Is brilliant. I think she's amazing. She scared the shit out of me in Flight of the Conchords, which I think was the first
You guys
encounter.
are looking really hot tonight.
Yeah. But she's
She's magnificent as Louise on Bob's Burgers.
Oh,
great
yes.
voice actress. Yeah, Bob's Burgers.
Just-
If distributor Ryan, if you're not watching anything good, all these titles are good titles that you should watch. Bob's Burgers. That's great.
Bob's Burgers is very good.
Logo TV has a show called Cucumber you might check out. I love cucumber.
You already recommended that to him.
I know. But he doesn't listen to the show, so I'm not recommending it again. I'm just talking. I'm allowed to talk.
You were talking directly to him.
Distributor Ryan, change your life for the better. J&B has had its way with you for long enough. Move on. Put in the application that you've got folded up in your back pocket. Take it to the KFC today. Make the change.
Or just go pro with the yo-yos.
Oh, fuck. Yeah. See, now this is it. We're doing it, Ryan. Don't wait until we're living our dreams and none of us have to work because we're making money off the 6 people that listen to the podcast. No thanks to you because you don't listen to it, you cunt.
Whoa. Whoa.
Wait. Oh, man, I said a bad word. I just can't help it. Distributor Ryan fills me with a rage that's unequaled.
Yeah, I was serious about us selling episodes of the podcast on cassette tape.
Oh man.
Out the back of the Tacomas?
Yeah. I bought a rack mount tape deck,
Dear God.
dual player, so I can record 2 tapes at once.
Amazing.
Gotta take that
Amazing.
out to Earl Ham.
Future tech.
Yeah, mostly because I really like cassette tapes. I mean, if you're gonna pick an inferior music format that isn't MP3, it ought to be cassette tapes.
You know, I've kind of been debating that, and recently I've turned to 3D printing my own record albums.
Record albums?
Yes, my own record albums.
Vinyl.
My own vinyls.
Vinyls. Tender vinyls.
Yeah. I can come up with ambiance that I don't think has ever even been fucking thought of due to my actions in that sphere.
Sounds that have never been made before.
Yep.
Sounds that will never be made again.
Yes. With every pass of the needle, my 3D printed record album vinyl is altered by the universe.
Yeah, it's because it's a dub plate. It's too soft.
Goddamn
You can't
right.
play it very many times.
Oh, shit.
Well, no, that makes sense because then they have to buy another one when it wears out.
Then they have to, yeah. Planned obsolescence.
Yep, that fits into the microphone. That reminds me, though, there was probably about 10 years ago, people were starting to talk about back when piracy and online commerce was more of a thing with software and whatnot. They were talking about creative DRM, and one of the solutions was a DRM that caused the program to decay as you used it, so certain features would stop working.
Mm-hmm. And didn't Disney? They may have even like tried to implement it. I don't know, or someone was trying to do something so that you could go and you could get a DVD and play it, and then like 2 days later, it would just not work anymore.
Yeah.
I don't even... Why do people give money to companies that hate people so fucking much? Like, nobody has stopped giving Disney money. And they fucking suck dick.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going on assignment to Disney this summer, podcast listener.
Oh, God damn it.
I'm doing it. We've taken the money from our Patreon account, and
Hedge fund.
we're going to... yeah, I'm cashing in some things. Because I'm a well-set young gentleman, and I'm going to use the money that I get from cashing in those things to visit Disney for you, so that I can come back and tell Homer and Max about Disney. Future events.
All you really need to know about Disney is they sued a company for printing comics that had passed into the public domain. There were these really old Mickey Mouse comic
I would do
strips.
that in a heartbeat.
Really old Mickey Mouse comic strips that were in the public domain, and this company, I don't remember who it was that was publishing these, like put it out, and Disney sued them, and the company just had to back down.
Nobody
Because-
can fight Disney's lawyers.
Because even though from a legal standpoint, they had absolutely every right to do this. Just having to go to court
Yeah.
was destroying them.
We live in a fair, just, pretty joyous universe.
Yeah, like most of the copyright laws in the U.S. exist because of Disney.
Is it 30 years until you're in the public domain?
I don't know.
I think it might be more than that.
Okay. So we've got
I'm
a
not
good while
sure.
until somebody starts using this material maliciously without having to pay us for it.
Like I think some of Ed Wood's movies didn't. It wasn't until relatively recently that they got into the public domain. But I don't know if someone managed to keep a copyright on those
That's
they
weird
they were hot properties.
High art usually is. There's always an expensive. Wow. Mark.
Although I'm really not certain about that, but I think it's longer than 30 years. I wouldn't be surprised, certainly.
It's a strange thing thinking about the nature of property with that regard and moving forward into an age where, even the most poverty-stricken 4-year-old American diaper-wearing shitbrick has an iPhone that they can play whatever in the fuck they want to on.
So speaking of copyrights and intellectual property, we still haven't really figured out what we're going to call this podcast. And I figured we might bring it to the listeners.
Yeah, we took it to the listeners, and you...
Did we?
Yeah, you got scared.
When?
When it got real. You don't remember this, do you?
Did this happen on episode 1?
Do you remember the terror?
Did this happen on episode 1?
Or
was this...
No. All right.
Okay, so...
Are you ready?
We didn't. I'm talking about right now.
Okay.
The audience suggestions got flipped-turned upside down.
See, now I just want to put this out there. Cassidy, don't let these assholes hurt your feelings. The name that you suggested was perfect. I will forever support it. And the name is Good Ass Tuesday with Titties.
Gat.
See, you guys aren't even... There's no response. They just sat on the couch and fucking looked at me like... that was... Which has happened about 10 times over the course of the last half hour.
Yeah.
I just kind of look over.
What's wrong with Out of the Cellar?
I don't think there's anything wrong with
Yeah,
Out of the Cellar
that's just what I'm-
necessarily. And there's no Out of the Cellar podcast, so ultimately...
Right.
We've got that.
Because that could... I wasn't sure if that's what we wanted to go with. Because we're going to start, building this brand. We need to...
Well, and that's...
We need to pick a name.
Let's just maintain flexibility. We'll roll with Out of the Cellar.
Because Out of the Cellar can always become the motto.
Yes.
It's part of the intro. I can just throw the name into the intro also.
Yeah. We are coming from Out of the Cellar.
Yeah.
We are basement dwellers at heart. All of us.
But yeah, if I start registering Twitter pages and whatnot,
Right.
I need a name.
Well, and that's kind of...
Shameless neckbeard faggotry.
Oh yeah, the SNF.
I've got a lot of shame. So that covers you guys, but I feel shame.
I need to shave my neck. It grows faster down here than it does up on my face.
That's what she said.
And she was right.
She tell no lies. We almost had a lady listener, I think.
Almost?
Yeah. Or we had a lady that was going to... Well, okay, let's just stop. My wife is a lady, and she's a listener. My wife pays attention. My wife listens to this.
Yeah.
She'll listen to this when I'm not home.
Why wouldn't she?
Sometimes. Why wouldn't she?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I just feel like she's got so much more going on.
Come on, man.
She has a bright future.
Have a little self-worth.
The only self-worth that I have came from her marrying me. It was like a ball of shock and self-worth exploding in my pants.
Uh-huh.
God, you know that
So
first night
it
we
was
were
like a
married.
ball exploding in your pants.
Yes, that was it.
Was it like a dodgeball, like gym play ball kind of thing, or was it like?
I was thinking a real highly compressed golf ball sized ball that was overfilled with matter. Kind of like maybe the center of the Milky Way type ball.
Like a candy bar Milky Way?
Like no,
Fill your pants with
Maxwell.
nougat?
Yeah, with chocolate and nougat. I had nougat popping out my cuffs.
Well,
Man, I saw. Okay,
I just dropped a candy bar in my pants.
is this the point at which we seg into talking about all the people that we've seen shitting their pants in real life?
I don't know. Is this
'Cause I know
do we switch topics now, or do we take a break? Or
I don't know. I usually rely on Homer's bladder to indicate. I'm sorry, it's not Homer that usually. I usually have to pee first, being the old man.
I'm willing to go with break.
okay,
Give my PP a break.
let's take a break. And we're back.
What kind of drugs do you think you'd be willing to abuse for the show, Homer?
Marijuana, definitely.
Really? What about things that aren't supposed to be drugs? Do you think we like cough syrup, make you some purple drink,
What about Jankum?
robo-tripping?
How about some crocodile? That Russian stuff.
Yeah.
Yes.
That looks real pleasant.
Seems like a safe entry into opioid abuse.
Well, you got any E?
Some mollies.
God, I need to get back into college so I can find us some drugs for Homer. Or maybe I need to switch careers and be the security guard at Earlham College, like
Right.
I've always dreamed of being.
Yeah.
I'm a little nervous about that. Just the power, you know. A lot of guys think they're going to be a good cop, and then they get there and the power just drives them insane. I feel like a security guard at Earlham's going to be a similar thing with me.
I think Earlham students are much more likely to drive you insane than the small amount of power you will be given.
Well, they're already kind of doing that at the shop.
Yeah.
Wow. Do we have
I don't know why you have to be such a dick about it.
I think our listeners are 100% Earlham related.
Probably.
I mean, Aaron Nell is postgraduate Earlham when he tried to go to ESR. Did you know he applied to ESR?
Yeah.
Yeah. That must have been humiliating, the way they laughed at him. God. And to have to run back to the workforce with your tail tucked between your legs and end up...
They were like, no, sorry, you look too much like Jesus.
This is not a place for you. Mm-hmm. You behave too much like Jesus, I think was part of the other problem.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll get some weed and some stuff in here next week. We'll
All right.
get Homer all fucked up.
Yeah.
And we'll see what happens.
Oh,
Just Homer.
Just Homer.
yeah. You know, I don't know. What if it turns out that abusing these drugs just makes me normal? Like I somehow, like it's a bit of a circuit, and that just gets me right back around to the
Yeah.
beginning, where I'm a functional human being.
I don't know.
No, I'm kidding. That of course won't happen. That's
It could. Your need
I
for
don't
the
know.
drugs may drive you to a normalcy hitherto unknown.
maybe I'll be the most normal person there ever was. Set a new standard for normal.
You'll be the very best.
Yep. Like no one ever was.
All right.
Normal man.
Normal man.
You got any good notes?
Sadly, no. But
No.
I mean, I've got some notes.
Oh, some notes.
Some of my notes were, well, one of my notes was taken during the episode. I'm going to start with my bottom note. Stardew Valley. There's a game.
So good. It's so good.
No. Okay. I'm gonna tell a story. I'm gonna tell a shop story.
There's a salty fisherman that will buy all your fish for you, from you. If it smells, it sells, he says.
Are you serious? Wow. That's kind of weird. I don't know that that's reflective of the real world. But we are also. I'm going to start a shop story, and I'm also going to lead in with. We're getting busier.
Yeah.
And anybody out there in
it's
the bike
happening.
shop is feeling it too, I'm sure. This was about the time that Homer was kind of when he worked from the shop was. Do you remember this time coming up when you just decided, oh my God, fuck this, enough. Summer's on its way, and I don't want to do this again.
That wasn't really the thought process, but I do remember.
I'm sorry.
It wasn't really, it's going to get busy again. I'm not looking forward to that, but
You just didn't want to do what we were doing.
basically,
Yeah.
not
But
in a professional
knowing that there was
context.
more shit coming,
That may have been, like on a subconscious level,
I thought you mentioned
would
it.
have.
But that's when
I
I
don't know.
picked up Maxwell, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's when I came in.
Yeah.
I was the closer. I was the
Yep.
cleaner.
Yep.
The wolf.
The sloppy seconds.
The big bad wolf. Yep. Man, I straight. In fact, Maxwell had just been in with his mom, bike shopping,
Yeah.
and then you started showing up with your dad.
Actually, no. Started showing up with Dad first.
That's right. No. Yep. And didn't. Yeah. But then your mom wanted the absolute.
Yeah, she wanted a bike because Dad and I were riding a lot.
Yep. And she's a big copycat. Emily's just a big copycat.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, them boys are riding bikes. Look at them smiles on their faces. Wonder if I could, I don't know.
Yeah. So I had no
up.
time to acclimate myself to working in a bike shop before it got busy.
Which, yeah, trial by fire, man.
Yeah.
That's the good way to go. It's better than spending all winter me trying to entertain some fuck nut while trying to teach them. Because, I mean, I'd rather just read and ignore you.
Man, that'd be a good way to get acquainted.
Well,
Just being in a room
Sitting-
with one other person.
Looking at me, looking at you, waiting for nothing.
when did you start? You may have started there earlier in the year than I started. Guess I started late May?
Yeah. Yeah, because you were after Brock, right?
It could be.
Brock and his family were moving out southwest to the glorious Bullhead City. One of the finest kind of resort locations in the Southwest, if I hear tell right. Kind of surprised they left that glamorous spot for the shithole known as Oregon. No, but seriously, Brock and your wife, congratulations on living your dream. Brock was one of them dudes that I think when I met Brock knew what he wanted to be doing. Brock knew that he wanted to be working at a shop of some sort. He knew that he wanted to be in the Northwest or somewhere else that's like real mountain bikey. And he went for it. Like, granted, there was a little detour into the Southwest, I think, which steeled their resolve to fucking get out of the Southwest. I think they really did not like that. And I don't think I would either, but
No, and now he's
Had a,
specializing in hardtail, hard fork mountain bikes with center pole cantilever brakes because, as we all know, the dream of the 90s
is alive,
is alive in Portland.
God damn it, Homer.
Okay, there we go.
I would be remiss if I didn't bring this up now that we're talking about Brock, the Ultimate Power issues.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. Oh, Brock, you poor son of a bitch. You're never going to outlive this shit. I hired somebody who was immortalized on
So-
the real Ultimate Power website.
For anyone that
Oh.
doesn't know, Brock was the mechanic before Homer.
Yes.
To get our timeline straight here.
Whew, man. Yeah. God damn. That derailed me
Yeah, the
Entirely.
Ultimate Power story.
entirely. Yep. So anybody that doesn't know, the Real Ultimate Power website is basically a celebration of all things ninja. It's a very tasteful, respectful, adult handling of a topic that usually kind of gets fucked with by teenagers and preteens in a pretty immature way. You know, like a lot of people don't really know what's up with ninjas. Well, Real Ultimate Power is there to let you know. Unfortunately, though, the person that runs Real Ultimate Power does kind of take a dim view of people who are less mature about ninjas. And so, you know, he gets a lot of hate mail from people who just want ninjas to be the fun, joyful thing that the American media has portrayed them to be.
Not taken so seriously.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, Brock sent him Brock and one of his homies sent him a letter, and Brock actually used a fictitious name that he had adopted early on. Brock, I'm not gonna embarrass you and drag your name out so that people can look up the letter.
Yeah, no, we're just using your real name.
Yeah. Well, you can't look up Brock on Real Ultimate Power and see the letter. You can look up his fake name and read the letter, and you can hear the rage of these fucking preteens as they assault this guy. I mean, like, they literally, I think he said something about hating him. Like, he hated him. Brock was so mad at this fucking website guy that he and his homie.
So instead of knowing the specific letter, you can now read every letter and just pretend that whatever one you want, that's the one he wrote.
In fact, if you see a letter that was co-authored by two angry little white nerds, that's probably them on the Real Ultimate Power site, that is.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Okay, but shop story. So there's a kid that's been coming in for the past year or so, I guess. He's all right. He tends to ride 20s as commuter bikes, which, you know, whatever. I had to ride my 20-inch as a bicycle messenger for a couple of weeks because my normal size bike wasn't there. But I was moving toward a regular size bike. He's not. He's just into it. So anyway, fuck it. He came in the other day and... God, there's two stories now for him. Well, I'll tell them in order.
Start with one.
Yep. He's like catching a little bit of me bitching about the heroin situation across the street. He's like, man, I just got out of rehab for weed, man. I just shit my pants. I hemorrhaged poo-poo in my shorts. It was bad. So I'm cracking up, just like, man, are you okay? Seriously, do you feel that craving that the chronic has cinched down into your soul? Or have you moved past it? No, but it turns out he worked at Neaton in Eaton and was on a break and was like, well, gonna go outside and smoke a doobie. So he goes outside to smoke a joint, and some dude was with him, a customer or some shit, that was like, would you mind if I smoke that doobie with you? So he smokes a joint with a guy outside of his workplace, and 3 days later gets arrested because that guy was a cop. So this motherfucker gets arrested for smoking weed with an off-duty cop who turned him in.
Oh, yeah.
And ends up going to fucking rehab.
Yeah. He was an undercover cop, not an off-duty cop.
Well, the kid said he was off-duty.
Well.
But, yeah, you never know. They're all undercover cops when they're off-duty.
Uh-huh.
Fucking oinkers.
They're all undercover cops when they're in bed.
Maybe not in the summer. They might just sleep with a sheet.
That's right. It does get warm.
Yeah, true.
But to further, I mean, that's part of the story. The second half of the story comes when he's about to boogie. He
No.
goes,
No, you don't want to do the direct quote, I don't think.
I'm doing it. I'm ballsy as shit. My edge is
Okay, white man.
okay. What do you want me to? I just okay. We're getting into some race shit right here. This is some race shit. This story involves use of a word that is fabled to anger a lot of people when used by the wrong people.
Look, when this podcast doesn't make any money and somebody asks me why, I'm gonna point to this moment.
Because the racist old man that we fucking do it with is too stupid to do anything right. All right, I'll tell you what. I think everybody knows what we're tiptoeing around. I'm gonna substitute the word with a different word. Do you guys have any really stupid words queued up right now?
This moment wasn't even that good.
No, it wasn't.
Oh boy.
No, they never are that good.
No.
Anyway, this poor kid goes outside.
The cool part was how excited you were to tell me about this the first time.
Well, because James and I saw it happen in front of our faces, and it was unbelievable. I think, and yeah, maybe not witnessing it.
Yeah.
Because this girl...
This is the prime example of you had to be there.
Yeah.
And now this...
Yeah. Well, we're going to see how...
Fourth retelling of this story.
Yeah. It's really straining my abilities as a rhapsode. In any event, the kid's outside. It's kind of shitty rainy. It's starting to rain a little bit, so it's pukey out, just ugly.
Just like it is now.
He's standing over his little 20-inch, an inch outside my front door. He leans down and pulls out a pack of smokes and puts a cigarette in his mouth and lights it and is getting ready to ride off when a wandering herd of dipshits comes up from behind him. It's like two girls.
Cows. They were big.
They were big girls.
And they walked by later on that day. And
yes,
I saw
they did.
them.
And these are girls that I have watched grow up. They've been in the neighborhood long enough. I saw them when they were probably 10 to 13, and now they're, God knows, I don't even know how old they are. But without breaking stride, these two girls and this dude were walking past a boy on a 20-inch on the sidewalk who by this point had pulled the cigarette out of his mouth and was holding it in his hand. This girl, it was amazing. Didn't break stride. I can't stress this enough. Didn't alter their movement. Was walking by and just said, "You need to hook a ninja up!" And grabbed his smoke out of his hand and just kept walking. Like just straight stole a cigarette out of the motherfucking kid's hand after declaring that he needed to hook a ninja up. Now, granted, she didn't say ninja.
Did she say nigga?
She did. She said a bad word. Homer, your soul is going to be tormented forever in the darkness. The darkness. But yeah, she stole this kid's smoke. Didn't stop. Didn't say anything else. The pack kept moving. And this guy, the look on his face was kind of just unbelievable. And he just leaned down and pulled another cigarette out and lit it. And just rode off completely independent of this group of people. It was very weird. But yeah, James and I saw it happen. And it was fucking hilarious to us.
Yeah.
It wasn't as funny, I guess.
Yeah, I had chicken in my hands when people were telling me this story.
Hot chicken. hot chicken. A lot of chicken going on.
Yeah. Lee's famous recipe will always be, whether they want to be or whether they know it or not, they are a prime sponsor of this podcast.
Yeah. I would say that at various points I've fueled 70% of my energy needs with Lee's famous recipes. Good eats. I'm cutting it down a little bit lately.
There were certainly days back when we were doing 6 days a week that we had
Oh my God.
that we had Lee's at least 3 days of those 6.
Yeah. And there were times where we broke 4. I know we did. Because I remember the look on your face when I suggested it.
There were a couple days where we did it 3 days in a row.
Yeah. That feels good. It tastes good.
It is damn good.
I got a $10 Meijer gift card from the dentist who pulled my wisdom tooth out because I gave them a review.
Yeah.
And my review was good.
Yeah.
Do you think they'd have given me the card if my review was shitty? It's like,
Go
well,
change your review.
yeah.
Find out.
Well,
They come take the
are they going to
card
show
back.
up and take the card? Yeah, I don't know. I thought the place was really professional, but when he leaned in, his hands kind of smelled like poop. That'd be a good review.
No. Oh man, I actually maybe. Oh, what?
I'm sorry. I just
timing.
remembered something that was so fucked up.
Okay.
About my wisdom teeth. My wisdom tooth. So the nurse, the aide, or whatever she is that helps, the wrangler that was with the main man, had done this to my dad at a different location. She worked at a different dentist, and my dad was there having teeth pulled of some sort. And I was kind of fucked up. Like, I was on them drugs already. And she was just kind of telling me about shit. And she said to me, I thought, now, is everything going okay? Are you okay? Do you want me to hold your hand? When your dad was here, I had to hold his hand for him. And, like, that struck me as fucking weird. Like, really weird. So weird. I was just fucked up. But let it pass. Went through the situation. And again, I'm going to say this. You guys have heard this. I was laying in a chair with a man, a full-grown fucking man, leaning his entire body weight against a metal tool that was stuck to a tooth in the back of my head. God, I've said it so many times, but had he slipped or had something weird happen, had he sneezed, he would have jammed that stainless steel straight through the back of my fucking cranium, and I would be dead as shit, regardless of whether or not that nice lady was willing to hold my hand. Well, I got out of there and tell my wife, the whole situation, and get to the part where I'm telling her about the lady saying that she held my dad's hand. And we're both just like, man, that's weird. And I even said something in there that was kind of like, man, what a fucking baby. Like, and they laughed. And the dentist was like, did he say he was a baby? Like a week or two later, I found out that she was talking about his head. She was holding his head in place. She had my dad in a headlock, and she was holding his head because the other dentist was wrenching laterally. And so, it all became clear, and I felt like a fucking goofball having run around thinking that this nurse was holding my grown father's hand during oral surgery. Sorry. Homer was going somewhere before that realization occurred.
Well, I started hearing music. I think one of your neighbors
Not in this neighborhood. I hear music. Shut down the podcast real quick. We gotta end this joy.
What is that?
Or I think it might be a chainsaw, actually.
Ah, yeah.
The sweetest music.
Indeed.
Yeah.
It's a little two-stroke attached to a death chain.
Well, it occurred to me to maybe you don't have to say it on the podcast, but which dentist specifically you went to?
Papadopoulos.
Papadopoulos.
I may be getting the last half of his name wrong, and if so, I'm sorry.
Well, and where is this?
He is on Simhagen, just off of Chester. If you turn west onto Simhagen from Chester, where the hospital entrance used to be, and go maybe 100 yards, he's to the right up a little hill in a brown building.
Directly across from the pet hospital?
I think so.
Okay, well, I think there's more than one dentist office there.
There's another dentist even in that building.
Okay, because I know multiple people who work at one of those. I don't think it's that one. But I was thinking it'd be really weird if I knew the person that you talked to, that you had a polite discussion with regarding insurance. But I don't think so. I think that was someone else.
In retrospect, I feel kind of bad for how bad I felt about that. What a dumb statement. In retrospect, I feel kind of bad for how bad I felt about that. But never mind. The
So,
future's bright.
One day when I was trucking my bike down Chester Boulevard, down the turn lane, going as fast as I could, passing all those cars, I turned right onto that road. That is Simhagen.
Mm-hmm.
I almost hit a pothole at the edge of the road there. Almost died because I was rolling. I was doing about 35.
That spot's got some bad shit down there.
Yeah.
Like deep, dark shit.
Mm-hmm.
And it always has, as far as I can recall.
Yeah. So that was fun.
Ugh.
Riding bikes are cool. It's cool.
Yeah, riding bikes. Well, if you can't afford a car, you might enjoy riding a bicycle.
Yeah.
Uh,
I almost rode my bike here today. I'm glad I didn't because it's raining now.
yeah, there's going to come a time when we sit down and start recording, and I'm going to say, God damn it, one of those motherfuckers has a bike at my house. It's going to be a lot different. But what were you, you might know some of the billing ladies in there?
I don't think so. I'm pretty sure this was like even a different building,
Oh,
but I don't want to like get far into that because, well,
because it's a scary building.
just because of how weird it might get. I think it'd be better if I just didn't really know.
Yeah, see, I was trying to pull out of there, but you brought it back in.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So we're not going to worry about
my
that.
interest is piqued. This is an unbeatable course of action. So, some of them old ladies in billing, you've had some run-ins.
I don't know.
Sorry,
Look,
now. If only the listener could see your faces.
How about we get back to the bike shop? You reminded me of that gentleman from the hills of West Virginia.
Oh my God,
you
Joe
remember?
Black!
Yeah, Joe Black.
Fucking, I only remember that because that's the name of a movie that I masturbated to frequently. I mean, anything with Brad Pitt in it, so
Oh yeah, that is top shelf wank material.
no joke. My spank bank's about 70% Brad Pitt.
Burn after reading.
Fap after reading.
He gets shot in the head in that one.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. What's wrong with you? Maybe Kumar hasn't seen that yet.
Yes.
Maybe he's got it up on Netflix right now.
Spoilers for this 10-year-old movie.
Well, hey, what? There are many children who have not even been born yet.
They
For
will,
them,
they will discover a cassette of this podcast
Yes.
in the post-apocalyptic ruins. And simultaneously, they will discover a usable copy of Burn After Reading.
yes.
They'll decide to listen to the podcast first.
God, how many tapes is going to be one episode?
Oh Jesus,
Probably two.
I don't know. I guess it depends on some stuff that I have no knowledge of. Yeah, Joe Black was a fucking sweetie, wasn't he? I remember the moment that turned too, and I love when this happens. I hate when you meet a customer and they just want to spend 20 hours with you, and they just want to jibber jabber and talk and get all homey, and then all of a sudden, that turned the moment they asked me. Now, these people were in a big fucking expensive truck. Like, they owned, was it a horse ranch or was it a cow?
Some kind of ranch.
Some kind of ranch, because he was big into telling us what a rancher he was. Do you have any, like, additional?
I remember his legs being weirdly short.
Short and bowed as
Yeah.
fuck. Like, this was a tiny cowboy man.
Like normal sized torso and arms,
Yeah.
but his legs were very disproportionately small, and it was very strange to look at.
He looked cartoonish.
I also, well, there's not an awful lot. I remember that, and I remember him staying for 2 hours after the shop had to close.
Yes.
But mostly, what I remember most of all is I think that was the point at which it became absolutely clear that I would, whenever possible, throw you under the bus to get out of an unpleasant situation.
That's what I'm there for.
That's
When
I began to embrace my sociopathic nature.
Yep. I am to be employed as caltrops whenever necessary in that shop.
Caltrops, or in this case, cow trips.
Caltrops is... No, they were trying to buy a used bike, too. I mean, it was a used giant Sedona in white, the same year and model that Aaron Nell first bought from me back in God fucking knows what. That an old woman was selling on consignment. And this old woman, I knew of her situation. She was, scraping by on a pension. And she could use the money. These people basically start trying to chip down on the price, and it was already a good price. I mean, it was a fucking fair and reasonable price. And this couple just starts hammering on me. Well, I know it ain't yours. You think you could call her and ask her if she'd go down to whatever? And I just said no. No, I'm not going to call her. I think that's a fair price. I know her situation. She doesn't need to be dickered with. And that was the moment that Joe Black's wife, she made some kind of huff noise, and she turned the fuck around, and she walked out and sat in the truck. And Joe Black stood there for like 2 more seconds and said, "Oh boy, I know what that means now. She mad. I'll be back. I gotta go deal with her." And then he comes back in and is acting like, "Well, I don't know what you did, but boy, you sure made her mad. You did something." It's like, yeah. I didn't want to fucking dicker about price with her or you at all. Ugh.
Yeah, like, wasn't it they bought the bike, and then for whatever bizarre reason, like, they brought it back in next day and decided to change it for some kind of bike rack. I know they've got, or maybe it was they got the bike rack first and then said, "Oh, we can't actually fit it on our trailer."
Yeah, I can't
something
remember.
Weird.
There was something
and
really painful.
And they decided they wanted to return it, and this took like another 6 hours the next day.
Yeah. In fact, Matt came over at some point. Matt was involved,
and he ended
it's always
up
good when Matt gets involved.
Yeah.
He ended up returned it in exchange for a bike, maybe
I
that
think
bike,
you're right.
maybe a different one.
Yeah.
And rather than just like putting all the money that the rack cost toward the bike, it was like, because you've already taken it out of the box and tried to use it, there's this much difference, and gave you a check.
Yeah.
And
people like that, we're going to go all out and charge every restocking fee and every fucking possible fuck you fee that we can pack into it. I charged them $5 labor for opening the door. Motherfuckers.
I like the
We're taking a break to watch my cat, Hork.
Oh, yeah.
Get it, kitty.
I really like the step. We need to get an extra microphone for that cat.
Come here, kitty. Are you done? My kitty's getting it. I just petted my cat with my mic. Will that make noise?
all of this is making noise.
Rub the mushroom tip all over your cat.
Tip right on her face. I gave her a big old load of green. All right.
All the noise that you made adjusting that microphone, taking it out of the stand, was louder than we have been for a while now.
We need better equipment. This is shit. I urge you to invest more heavily. Again, thanks to our sponsor, Maxwell Murphy, who's actually spent some money so that we can fucking waste our lives in my living room on Mondays.
This is probably more productive than just about any. No, actually, I have been stripping copper out of old Christmas lights. I found another load
At strangers' houses.
Yeah, I go around to people's houses, break in, see. No,
Derelict businesses.
and I found we were actually. I was getting out a wheelbarrow for our garden work on Saturday. Our non-video game garden work. I want to point out
The worst kind of garden work.
the most difficult kind of garden work.
Whatever.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, Max trying to be dismissive, like whatever.
You can keep your 3D pig disgusting gardening.
Oh, 3D PD has made an appearance.
Oh boy, yeah. Actually, oh man,
Those of you who need to know,
that reminds
look
me.
it up.
Can we work body pillows into the title or the concept somehow?
I mean, I'm gonna bring one.
Maybe as
next week.
decorations.
That's so weird because I was looking at a full-length Solid Snake body pillow cover that I was gonna buy for Max.
Is it going to be two-sided? Like,
One with clothes, one without.
well, I was
There's
thinking
no clothes
you'd have
anywhere.
one, like he'll be in like a sarong, and then on the back it'll show his ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, that would be great.
It's a hospital gown. It's from the opening.
Oh yeah,
of-
from MGS5.
Yeah. His butt he's presenting on one side, and on the front he just looks beaten, which is a thing Max is into.
Yeah.
Beaten snake.
Metal Gear Solid 6, where they give up, and it's just like, you know what? There's no game. It's just a 12-hour long cutscene where all you can see is Snake's ass.
Sign me up. Kojima's a genius.
That's basically where the series is heading, I think. Not that I would know. I've not actually played any of them, but
Wow.
so anyway, not really. So we found another like 10 pounds of Christmas lights in the wheelbarrow,
Sweet.
clearing it out. I was like, yes.
Keeping those resources viable for America.
Well,
As copper to win World
That-
War III.
That's how we're gonna make America great again.
My MAGA hat. I would love to wear a Make America Great Again hat, but
It wouldn't be seen as a joke.
it wouldn't.
I
I'm in Indiana.
oh man, you know,
I'd be getting high
we should
fives.
see. I think it was Bud K, that online knife shop. They had Donald Trump collectible commemorative knives. Two different
Oh
kinds.
yeah, they did.
They may
I'm
not
sorry,
have them
but
anymore, which
Donald
is unfortunate.
Trump is a hideous icon. Like, did they have his face on it?
I'm pretty sure.
See, no, that doesn't sell.
I think it might.
You're probably right. Yeah,
The someone.
he's such an ugly, ugly man. Inside and out.
What about the hair? Where's Max going? What is this?
I don't know. I'm getting nervous.
Oh,
Let's talk about Max a little bit, or a lot. He's got a weak bladder. Number one.
I guess.
His outfit today's really left me wanting, and not in a good way. Like, not that kind of wanting.
It doesn't excite the imagination the way it should.
No, I hate to say it, but it just kind of looks like he just grabbed whatever was available and put it on. And nobody lives like that that's taking this shit seriously.
Project Runway has taught us much. I mean, a mere 3 episodes, and I have developed what, compared to what I knew before, is encyclopedic knowledge
I would say so.
of how one should dress.
Yeah. Homer yesterday was talking about the various properties of fabrics that I had never even heard of, and techniques that were required due to their. I mean, it's crazy talking about how stretchy they are and how you need to sometimes. He lost me.
I mean,
He lost me.
I'll tell you right now, and I mean, even reading about it, I thought I knew better than they did. I learned this the hard way. Anywhere that the fabric is going to hug the frame, you got to make sure it's not going to chafe. You need to have a nice, soft, silk is great. Something that will just sort of flow with the skin. That doesn't have a lot of friction. I mean, it may not seem like a big deal when you're just thinking about it, but man, when you're wearing it to that party with Manhattan's elite, oof.
Well, and the last thing you want to be seen in is a lovely silk, well, silk would be the case where you wouldn't be hit by this, but any sort of shirt that chafes to the point where you get those bloody nips poking through.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You end up on page 6, and they're not saying he looks good.
Oh, no.
You end up on page 6, and they're saying he looks like shit. Now, was first season, did they go to a party to meet the page 6 guy yet?
No.
Okay.
No, not yet. I'm not that deep into it.
All right.
But I will be. I will.
There's yet to plunge.
I will be.
It will be plunged.
Witnessing more Project Runway as I strip the copper out of.
I'm so glad you're watching that shit. I really am. It's such good reality TV.
And by good we mean absolutely appalling.
Yeah.
I am convinced they deliberately picked people who genuinely have no idea what they're doing.
Okay.
Although,
now,
then again, I don't know.
As you go deeper, see, season 1, I think that's forgivable. Like, season 1, a bitch not knowing how to sew? Okay, you dumb fucking delusional idiot. You made some really excited fucking videos and convinced these people that you can make clothes even though you clearly don't have the basic skills. I mean, that's so absurd. But beyond season 1, you still run into people who come into this fucking competition without even a shadow of a hope due to their limitations as far as skill sets. There are people who cannot thread sewing machines. There are people that cannot use sewing machines. I mean, there are people who literally, they'll basically make a point of filming them fucking up like 4 sewing machines in a row and pissing off all the other contestants because they just run off being like, oh, there's something wrong with all these machines. Yeah, it's called you dickhead. You put your foot down on that pedal and wrecked it. Oh, whatever.
PEBCAS. For those of you who don't know, there's an acronym PEBCAC, which stands for problem exists between keyboard and chair.
Mm-hmm. Problem exists between
or chair and keyboard.
Sewing machine and fabric.
I made the rookie podcast mistake of calling for the break too early.
Did you not pee at the early break?
I did, but there was not much pee.
See?
There was much more pee this time.
Sometimes when I feel a poop coming on, I'll let her sit, let her ride, turn it into a more serious event.
Yeah, build it up a little bit.
Wait a couple days.
Edging.
Mm-hmm. I do like, oh, well, I'm going to stop.
Let it stew for a while. like so many great things, it needs time to really come into its own.
Well, my beef jerky heavy diet, it means business. If you know what I'm saying. You can smell what the Rock is fermenting inside his gut.
Trying to figure out where I'm going to go get food from after I leave here.
Oh man, that's exciting. We can talk about that.
Yeah.
How is you've been to that Indian place?
Gulzars.
How
I recommend it. I recommend it. Richmond's got a new Indian food place that's where La Hacienda was, out on the east side. It's called Gulzars, and it's primarily buffet.
Which I saw that for the first time recently in some like advertisement or coupon book. I was like, whoa, there's a buffet?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think it's a good plan because honestly, most of Richmond doesn't know shit about Indian food. This is our first run, and a buffet gives all these folks a chance to like at least try a few things. I only went and ate of the buffet once. We did carry out. Maxwell and I.
It's Gulzars, not Elzars.
Did I say Elzars?
No, I just want to clarify.
Oh fuck! Bam!
There are no spice weasels.
There are
at
several
Gulzars.
spice weasels at Gulzars. You have to choose the correct spice weasel. But it's pretty good. I enjoyed it. Clean restaurant.
For now, at least.
Cool staff so far. Yeah.
So they aren't employing any actual dot Indians then.
There are some people that make me uncomfortable there. Yeah. I don't know what they are or why they are the way they are, but they're not like me.
So the guy that brought the food out when I got it there, it made me uncomfortable not because of his race or his ancestry, but because he was a literal monster of a man. He was like 6'6", easily 230 pounds.
Did he have a beard?
No.
Oh, okay. There was a Cheyenne, and I don't know that Cheyenne's been given the links to these podcasts yet, but he will eventually, and his wife, Erin. Cheyenne came into the shop telling me about this guy that just ruined his night. Just this giant statue of a beautifully groomed,
So maybe he did have a beard, but I don't remember.
turban wearing fucking Aladdin as an adult, only better because he got jacked type scenario. Yeah, I don't need that. I don't need good looking people around me, especially when they're ethnic-y. That's why I'm glad Kumar moved out of town. I was getting a lot of like anxiety about. I just see him ride by on his bike, and I just knew I had no hope. Can't believe he listens to this shit. Get your fucking life together.
Don't listen to this. Watch Project Runway instead.
Yeah, and let me know if you need links to the torrents. I'll help you.
No. Watch Project Runway and listen to this at the same time.
Ooh.
Oh man, that might be too much for any human to handle.
Man, I wonder if we would ever be able to put together commentary on something. Like once we move to video.
Yeah, sure. I mean, no, we could be watching something right now, and we could say, "Hey, we're gonna start it right now,"
Yeah.
and that would sync up. You could.
Oh yeah, we could do the riff track.
Yeah,
shit.
riff tracks.
Yeah. I'm.
Which might be a neat thing to do one of these days.
Yeah.
Hey, that'll be how we get money off of this. Actually, is I'm pretty sure riff tracks, like, you can submit your own, and I'm not
Wow.
sure, or we could find some
Do I
way
have
to
to
do
mimic Joel's voice?
a similar thing.
Do we have to sound like Joel and the team?
No.
I mean, there is a Tom Servo in this house right now.
You don't. I woke up, looked at Tom Servo this morning, and I said to him, "Not long, buddy. It's gonna be. The time is coming. We will have Servo." I thought about us doing a whole show, and then at the very end, it become apparent that there was somebody under this like little table thing with Servo, and then Servo pops up, and the viewers or listeners, I guess, yeah, they'll be viewers at that point, realize that we had this poor person under the desk the whole time in our penis smell zone, waiting for the Servo arrival. That was a very well explained, well thought out series.
What?
And you're welcome. You're all welcome.
I just stopped listening.
That's fucked up. Ah, man. I'm trying to be a better listener for this. And
The moment you start talking about video, I just start thinking about the logistics of putting this on video.
And how much more of a major pain in the ass it's going to be.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Let's not do that ever. Because I don't think I'll have time once we got those chickens to fuck with that shit.
I both love and hate being the producer.
That is kind of the weirdest aspect. I feel you're doing something that's kind of contrary to like your normal steez a little bit.
No, because I have trust issues, so I can't let anybody else just do the stuff.
You have trust issues, but they're not the kind of trust issues where you feel like you can't tell somebody about your trust issues.
Right. Yeah, I can't.
Okay.
I can't trust anybody to do anything right, so I do it myself.
All right. I mean, I think that Homer and I, if given a chance, could edit this up and make you look great.
Yeah, but I can't.
No.
Like I said,
Not willing to risk it.
Yeah. Man,
It's raining harder.
yeah, it's raining really hard.
We
right
got to
now.
shut this down quick before we get wet.
I would not be able to get myself to care enough to actually edit anything.
That's kind of where I'm at. I mean, I barely, when I wake up on Mondays, there's this period where I'm like, is this it? Am I going to call these guys and tell them to fuck off? Because, man, I got some time. And I love doing nothing with my time. I could be laying on that couch in my underwear, stuffing beef jerky in my face, making fun of my cat, and nobody would know.
Yeah, I'm feeling good about this episode so far, though. This has been a much better episode than the first one.
Well, now see, watch us be feeling that, and that be the exact opposite of how the listeners feel.
No,
because we've been feeling like shit about every episode we've done, but we've gotten positive feedback.
Yeah, because people are too nice.
Yeah, the two people. My wife's really nice. Cassie and Kumar are really nice.
Wait, can Cassidy and Kumar count for one person?
Yeah, yeah. They married into a family together somehow.
The human family.
The worst family.
Let's see. We just crested the 2-hour mark.
Are you shitting me?
No,
I haven't even gotten to more than one of my bullet points.
I know.
Oh, wait, no, I fucked it up. I did all my bullet points except for one.
Okay, cool.
All right, how about that?
Oh, wait. There's a bullet point that's been rendered irrelevant due to editing.
Oh?
Yeah, I had a bullet point to address, so I told a really long story last time about,
Oh, yeah.
God, this was so funny. When my wife and I listened to this, I just about puked.
Because of my...
Because Max is in control.
My sleep-deprived rambling last week, I had to edit out some just real nasty shit.
Yeah, that was the Gaki discussion.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gaki no Suka
And
makes Max want to talk real bad.
To maintain some sort of congruency, I had to cut out part of Chris's story.
I'm wearing camouflage socks, and if you cut that out, you're a dick. But I told a very long story about...
It wasn't that long. If it's the story I think it
yeah,
is.
you're right. The gender...
Yeah.
I told a medium-length story.
Yeah.
You gonna let me get by with that?
Yeah.
I told a medium-length story about...
If it were a chub, I'd say it was like a like an 11-inch chub.
Just a tiny baby chub.
Yeah.
All right. Because, God, that just... Oh, man. Now you got me thinking. Think about them chubs. Anyway. The story was about me dressing like a girl in junior high for Halloween. And I basically told this whole fucking story about how my mom dressed me up like a girl and I went to Clara's Pizza King and, all of this shit was going on.
Yeah.
And I never told that it was for Halloween.
Yeah, without
until
the qualifier that, hey, Halloween.
Right. It's just like, no, when I was young, my mom, and it's weird, my mom was cool with it. She really went all the way. And,
And put on makeup and
put
everything.
on makeup, dressed me up. I looked like a girl.
And then, of course, I made the joke of, you still look like a girl.
I mean, yeah. And then I said, I am the great confuser, much like Vince Noir. Because I am the great confuser.
The better of the two, Mighty Boosh.
That's such a bunch of shit, man. If you are not a Howard Moon fan, you're getting confused. You're like a raccoon, man.
Look,
You
how
see
many
some shiny shit.
times has that piece of shit been on Big Fat Quiz Show?
He's above it, son.
No.
It's like...
He doesn't even rate.
That's like Putin. You think Putin's going to show up for that shit? Nah, he's a fucking honest to God amazing... Well...
He would, and then he would win by default because he would ride in on a bear, and him and the bear would just annihilate everyone there, including like the film crew
And he would be
anyone
wearing
in the
hot
audience.
pants with nothing else.
Jimmy Carr is a wonderful man.
Yeah. And if anybody's out there wondering, the Big Fat Quiz of the Year is some good, fun British
It's on YouTube.
stuff. It is all on YouTube.
Richard Ayoade
Richard Ayoade is a frequent guest.
pulling out a banana.
So is Noel Fielding.
And
Vince
someone
Moore.
mocks him for pulling out a banana, and he just shuts her down, talking about like, we're in this for the long haul, and I'm gonna be fine at like the 2-hour mark, and you're just gonna be shutting down.
Yeah.
Like this is I think he called it a marathon.
Yeah.
Good TV to waste your life with.
Richard Ayoade, just a wonderful person in general.
He's amazing.
No idea why he agreed to be in. I think it was The Watch, the movie. Ben Stiller, Jonah Hill.
Oh,
Wow.
They
yeah.
were
Are you
Neighborhood
serious?
Watch and Aliens Invade Earth.
Yeah.
And
What?
Richard Ayoade was in it for some reason.
I hope he got paid really well.
That's the only thing I can think of.
Did
Is
Simon Pegg have something to do with that one?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Ugh.
I'm not sure. I think Nick Frost might have had something to do with
Okay, that's
a
probably...
British film called Attack the Block about aliens that land on Earth and in like a London ghetto or whatever, and there's these
London is a ghetto.
wannabe punks basically, but like even for London this is ghetto. And there's like these wannabe gangster kids that like start to fight the aliens, and it wasn't very good.
Are they chavs?
A few of them are.
Sweet. Chav culture is one of my favorite things.
Uh-huh.
Fact.
I don't know. Anything else? Or are we done here?
I don't know. You got to poop?
Nah, I'm just getting hungry.
Are you serious?
Yeah, kind of. I haven't eaten anything yet today.
See, you need to roll into this having eaten.
Nah, I feel good. I'm feeling slightly less good than when I was than when I arrived, but hey,
My good levels are down. You want some jerky?
no.
I've been making a lot of jerky, listeners. You know what? We're gonna have a contest. We're gonna have a fucking contest where I send somebody some jerky if they win.
Okay, what's the contest?
I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna think about it.
No, okay,
Send us pictures of your dick. The most beautiful dick wins some jerky.
no. Since most of the all of the listeners have an appropriate
Nipple size.
I don't have the appropriate word.
2-inch diameter nipples are appropriate.
Okay, so use
But-
an inappropriate word.
Yeah, all of the listeners have the means of which to contact one of us with a question for the podcast, because we want to start doing
Yeah.
questions for the podcast.
Yeah.
Whoever has the best question will win the beef jerky.
I'm not giving my beef jerky to a good question. That just seems stupid.
What's a contest? It's an easy contest. As a producer, that's my way of getting questions onto the show.
Okay. All right. Fine. Yeah. Okay. Well, I just decided in my mind to limit the amount of jerky for such a shitty contest so as to be marginal and insignificant.
I can't wait till we get another person on this podcast, so I can just be the guy that is not on a microphone, that is standing in the room, like on all the radio shows.
Wait.
that the host can look at and say, "Is that okay?" And I can
not-
shake my head yes or no.
You're not gonna mic yourself up when we have a fourth,
Well, yeah, I am, but I just
Okay. but you're just gonna have a
quit ruining my fantasy.
diminished role. You're gonna be the Paul Schaefer of this pod. We're gonna give you a little keyboard.
Yeah, just after every other joke, you just hear me going.
Or it'll be like that one guy back when Jay Leno had a late night show where Jay Leno would just like keep talking to him, and the guy would just be like, ah, and he would laugh at whatever it was.
Man, I can safely
something,
say
I don't know.
I've never seen a single episode of Jay Leno's show.
Really?
Watched a lot of Letterman with my grandparents when I
Yeah.
lived with them. That was fun.
I want to be this show's Biff Henderson.
I want to be this show's Turd Ferguson. The cat has leapt again and approaches Max threateningly. She pauses underneath his knees, sniffs the air, realizes there's an easier target.
I made eye contact.
That's why she's walking toward the Mormon, the Stormin' Mormon, the body forming Mormon.
Body foreman?
Sure.
Foreman like a construction foreman, or foreman like
The body foreman.
Foreman without
You were the
forming
foreman.
without a G.
You are the foreman of corporeal forms.
No, like George Foreman.
Man, the George Foreman of the Mormons, Stephen J. Homer.
Oh, look, man.
I like that.
You're revealing my power level over here.
That's true. All right. Well, I'll reveal a little bit of mine. My grandma calls me Trooper. To this day, she calls me Trooper.
Because of your time in the Girl Scouts.
I assume so. I did spend a lot of time with Girl Scouts because my other grandma, my granny, was a Girl Scout leader for her entire fucking life. I spent a lot of time back in some woods in Hagerstown with a bunch of weird girls when I was really young. Camp Wapikamigi. My wife has been there before, I think. Oh. Man, and it's Girl Scout cookie time.
Yeah, it is. I have a box of shortbreads at home.
I have about 8 shortbreads left in one of the cellophane things in the cupboard. And as soon as you guys leave, I am naked and I'm eating the fuck out of all of them. I am a nudist. I guess I'm just out of myself as a nudist. I never really
A private
thought
nudist.
about it.
Not,
Yeah.
Not like all the time.
I'm not like a vegan nudist or a CrossFit nudist.
You are wearing clothes right now.
Who needs, yeah. I don't need to talk about my nudism all the time. But now I do. Because I turned a corner and now I'm a vocal nudist.
I've worn a dress before on multiple occasions. Well,
Was it the same dress?
really, it was one occasion.
Wait a minute.
It was for a thing in high school. You know.
Okay.
I was really short on cash, and I was very confused at the time. I thought I needed to save up for an operation. No, it was for someone. I was in like an audio visual class and had to do like music videos in someone else's music video, and I was like, yeah, sure.
Was this a grant event?
No,
Okay.
this was like the same sort of group, but vaguely, but it was for someone else, and I was playing a cross-dresser. I was being a cross-dresser, I guess,
Yeah.
for some.
You were just
listening to-
straight up cross-dressing.
You
Yeah.
were listening to your heart
Well, yeah. So
and
dress,
wearing women's clothes.
makeup, unshaved armpits,
Yeah.
and the best way to go. But what I really distinctly remember is the house we were doing this in. That family had like a little dog, and at one point, we ordered pizza during one of the shoots we were doing, and I answered in my dress. And at one point, the dog managed to get out. I looked around. I didn't see anyone either way. I go out, I get the dog, and there's this old couple walking down the street, and the guy looks at me and he's just like, "Oh, out for a walk, are we?"
You call this a walk?
I was like, "Oh boy, I'm gonna remember this. I'm gonna tell people about it, like I did just now."
And here
And
you are.
your actions have made it so. I tell you.
That seemed like an appropriate thing to talk about in the podcast.
Yeah. Oh, that was a good one.
Yeah. Weird response to Homer wearing a dress chasing Tiny Dog in Richmond, Indiana. Homer, who thought that he was alone, but was joined by an old couple.
You're never alone.
Or at least, I
Till
mean,
you
that's how
die.
I remembered playing out. Like in my head, my memory especially, it plays out like in a bad movie or a sitcom or something. because I really remember looking and not seeing anyone, and then I go and I get the dog, and it's like I lift up the dog, and there they are, 2 feet away. Like, oh man,
Staring at the creation that is cross-dressed Stephen Homer,
Yeah,
tiny
that was-
dog toter.
tiny dog toter.
Yeah,
I
you know,
should
the
have
TDT.
taken. It would have been great. I should have taken a purse if I had one and put the dog in there.
Mm-hmm.
I could have
You
carried
know,
the dog in there.
I'm gonna make a side note. Tiny. Homer has referred to Tiny a number of times. Homer's surrounded by brothers.
The lifter also.
The
Yes.
lifter. Homer has a bunch of brothers, and they all have special identities.
Given by you, actually, with one exception.
Yes,
But
Skittles.
he doesn't really figure into our lives as much anyway.
Skittles never counted.
Yeah. No.
Skittles never counted for shit. Is Skittles a breeder?
No.
Okay, right. The breeder's the breeder.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's go through the. We got
Tiny.
Tiny,
Lifter.
the lifter,
The breeder.
the breeder, Skittles, our miracle, co-host of this podcast.
That's not an order of age, incidentally. Oldest to youngest is Breeder, Skittles, Lifter, me, Tiny.
Yeah, so the 5 Homer boys, one of whom is here, ready for you.
Oh yeah. I must briefly interject. Gear up, pupper.
Gear up, pupper.
What?
So I told Max about some stupid image that I saw in a thread on B, where a kid posted the image, something like that, and
Gear up, pupper.
and it was what was it? Get paid, pupper.
Something
And
like that.
he posted this image with the whole get paid pupper image in the post, and then asks a question. Now the image is exhorting everyone to write "Get paid, pupper," or you're never going to make any money again. So of course in the thread, every response is "Get paid, pupper," rather than responding to this idiot's question. And now I'm stuck on pupper. I can't quit thinking it. Get paid, pupper. Gear up, pupper. Max found an alternate.
Although it did not look like a cycling shoe that this tiny dog was
No,
in.
that was
Is that
a
ceramic?
that was a motorcycling boot.
Oh, okay. It looked like a big ceramic thing on my phone for some reason. Which brings me to one of my bullet points.
We need to get the intern Seth in here.
That'd be fucked up and scary.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'd be willing to do it. I would.
Yeah, me too.
My biggie is it's got to fly under the radar of certain people
Oh.
that are attached to him
Oh. Uh-huh.
in a certain way.
Yes.
In certain genetic ways.
Yes. I see what you mean.
So we want the intern to be here talking. We have an intern.
We had an intern.
Had an intern last summer. Seth, my second Seth ever. I sent the link of the first episode to Seth as well. I haven't heard anything from him. Piece of shit. I hope he dies. But yeah, we can't have the intern's parents knowing about this.
That reminds me, the whole dentist thing earlier, that occurred to me because I gave someone a ride home from a dentist's office, and that's where I saw the people I knew know. And and oddly, while I was there, Matt Stiegel showed up.
Ooh! You bump into him in public every once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
We saw him at Les Miserables when Aronell was Jean Valjeaning the holy fucking shit out of this town.
I saw him when I met Dave Snow.
No!
Yeah, I see Aaron Nell around town occasionally when he's out riding, and like every time I like involuntarily, it's like, hey, it's that guy. I'm like, hey, I know him.
What a dick.
Look at him riding around on a bike.
Fucking asshole.
I think the shop affiliated person I end up seeing the most outside of shop stuff It's Curtis.
Mm.
I see him driving around a lot.
We haven't talked much about Lucky on the show.
I don't know.
No, I think we'll have to save that for another day.
Yeah. We'll do Lucky Tales.
We're
We'll tell about all the people that he has deaded
Yeah.
due to their opposition of his will.
we're starting to wind down here.
Nope.
Yep.
Oh, I'm just hitting my booster right now.
We're at 220.
Let's go for 3.
Let's get another 2. So we're up to 420. Blaze it.
Yo! You called it, Homer. Let's get fucked up. I'm gonna get online and order a bong. We need to get that drug that drives people crazy.
Bath salts.
That just got
The wacky weed.
you bad. What was the one that the kid got killed by cops over somewhat recently? Like his
Like any of them?
All of them.
it's not salvia.
Uh,
Yo, and salvia. Who the fuck?
What do you know about Salvia divinorum?
Jesus Christ. I mean, the things that I've heard about people who've tried salvia. Homer, are you going to try salvia next week?
No.
On air? Dude, just who that hears this tries this drug? Well, I took some. They said maybe I took a little too much. I don't know. I lived 70 years of a life in my mind and then woke up. I had a family. I had children that lived and died. And then I woke up and realized, oh, I did some salvia. No.
That just sounds like VR to me.
That sounds like a fucking
That sounds like that
virtual
game
nightmare.
in Rick and Morty. I can't remember the name of it, where you play
Yeah.
just some guy who works in a carpet store.
I remember that. That was like one of the few parts of a Rick and Morty that I saw.
Is that?
And Rick admonishes Morty for being so terrible. And so he puts it on and everybody gathers around to see him just wreck shit
Yeah.
in this virtual reality game.
God, I don't remember that
Re-
one. for
Really,
some
Morty?
reason.
You went back to work at the carpet store after you broke your spine?
Rick and Morty's some fun shit.
But
Are they coming back soon?
probably not. I mean, it took what, like a year between
Yeah, that
seasons
was a
last
long
time.
wait. Yeah.
But, now let me tell you though, getting back to drugs, having gotten a prescription for one before years ago, I do not know why anyone would decide to down benzos. Like I don't remember feeling good at all. Maybe it's also because
Were you drinking?
I was and still am on a different medication. And as you explained to me, it's not a good idea to mix uppers and downers. But man, like,
a nice speedball, a benzo speedball.
but, I mean and it was a Klonopin, Xanax.
Jesus
And I remember-
Christ.
Just like not even taking the full dose. I
Dude.
was like, nope, this is not pleasant. I maybe I feel a little more relaxed, but
Oh my
mostly
God.
I don't feel much of anything anymore.
Klonopin and Xanax are heavily abused drugs. I mean,
Like,
I hear
they-
from people all the
They
time.
just shut you down, and like even the people who take them, who claim to enjoy them, it's like, well, I took a few and then it was a week later all of a sudden, like,
Wait, mate.
what is supposed to be enjoyable about that?
It's bad because you're just acknowledging that you don't want to live your life. I mean, which I acknowledge every day that I turn on media and
That reminds
don't leave
me.
my house.
I'm drinking nowhere near enough water and peeing way too much.
Oh boy.
Is the pee red?
No, I'm saying for my drinking myself to death with water.
Oh, I forgot. Oh my God. I don't know why, but when you said that last week, my wife and I were listening to that podcast. For some reason, when you said that, we both shit our pants. I'm going to try that later. No, please don't.
And well, also, benzo's a really bad idea to abuse them, because you might end up like one guy on an internet forum. His wife was talking about how he died because he took some benzos, like got into his car in their garage.
Was
And
it a
then-
benzo?
I'm pretty a benzo.
Benzo.
No, he took some benzos, got into his car to go somewhere, which I mean that's bad to begin with.
Started the car and
But
took a nap.
he couldn't even like start the car. Like, it's not that he was in the garage, started the car, and then died from carbon monoxide. It was just that it was so hot that he just got baked to death. And not the good kind of
Jesus
baked to death.
Christ.
420 plays it.
That is a good guy.
And I guess, like, she was, possibly still is, using benzos, too, I think.
Well, it's not the benzo's fault.
Yeah. The drugs
know.
didn't kill him.
Nah. It was the garage that killed him. We should outlaw garages.
Yeah.
Clearly.
It's
A lot of people die in garages.
It's not the speed that kills you, it's the sudden stop.
Yep. So we should outlaw the human body's ability to rip itself to shreds upon like 40 to 50 G impacts.
Yeah.
This piece of shit frame that we're getting.
Oh, man. That Lifter recently started rewatching The Blacklist. And there was an episode where a taxi driver kills himself and his passenger for reasons that I won't get into, and I don't want to spoil this show. But also, it doesn't really matter. But he's going.
What?
He is just flying through traffic. Like, he's going 60 miles an hour
Whoa.
in some downtown area where, 30-mile-an-hour speed limit. And, the official report is, oh, no, what a horrible accident. It's like, how?
That's
no.
suicide. Murder-suicide.
Yeah, like, can you really not tell by going to the wreckage, like, oh, this guy was going 4 times the speed limit? Mm-hmm. Well, just an accident. Like, official ruling. Not like, okay, we have to say it's an accident for whatever reason. Like,
That's like I think a woman was just recently shot by her baby who was in a high chair with a 45 semi-auto, I believe. And she, critical condition. I mean, ended up in the hospital. I think she was okay. Eventually she was going to live. The police and responders all just got together and decided, well, she suffered enough. We're not going to go ahead with any of these criminal negligence charges that should be levied at a woman whose fucking toddler grabbed a hold of a goddamn fully loaded, not even on safety ass, 45 caliber. Ugh.
I'm just wondering,
That's
like,
stupid.
how light was that trigger pull?
Right.
If the toddler managed.
Yeah. She had done some trigger work on it. She had a trigger job done.
Yeah.
I mean, I can understand not wanting, like a real heavy trigger, a real long trigger pull. Like, my dad at one point ended up, I think, getting as a gift something chambered in 40 Smith & Wesson. And I got to experience the trigger pull on that once. Unloaded. I was very sure about that. And it
Because there was no bang.
It didn't trip the hammer and the firing pin until all the way back, so it's like an inch-long trigger pull.
Nope.
Why?
Nope.
That I don't know.
I mean, granted, you could get used to it probably, but no, that's fucking insane.
Yeah, But anyway.
I mean, it had to be a light trigger pull. It was a woman's gun anyway.
Oh yeah. Well, obviously, it was a gun for women.
Yeah, and women and their weak fingers.
But that really is odd.
She probably had the toddler
in fact,
loaded.
that
for
makes
her.
me a little bit suspicious that the toddler shot her. I don't know.
Well,
Like,
when baby wants to watch SpongeBob, you put fucking SpongeBob on that iPad, bitch.
An OG baby.
Yeah.
She would have died, but he was holding it sideways.
He didn't want to catch an attempted murder charge, so he shot her below the hip.
And why are we assuming it was a he?
I know it was a he. I saw pictures of that murderous baby. Gangster as fuck.
Look, we shouldn't assume the baby's gender.
Yeah.
The baby may be a demi-gender or whatever. Mayonnaise gender.
Agreed. The baby has not yet the voice to tell us.
We do
with
not
whom
know the
baby
baby's
identifies.
pronouns.
Yes.
We should withhold, like people were telling Princess Diana to do.
Can't talk about Shim
Or
yet.
whatever her name is, the current
Princess Diana.
Princess Diana. Yeah, I said
think
that, and I'm like, no, that's not right.
I don't think anybody's telling her to do shit.
I've been making gentle recommendations
there's-
her way.
Whatever the
Rise
most
from your
recent,
grave.
the most recent royal baby, there were a lot of people going on Twitter, like enough of them
Pippa's baby.
that they could not have all been trolls.
Kate.
Kate.
Yeah, Kate. And they're like, how dare you say that this is the baby's gender? You don't know.
Yeah. I love this world.
Just,
The baby doesn't even know yet. That baby could be otherkin, waiting for you to hear that it's otherkin.
That seems like a good note to end on.
yeah, you know what? I think it is.
Yeah.
Actually.
Yeah, well, you better check
And
your
I'll
fucking
try
privilege.
I'll try to look into some of that for next week.
Yeah, I'll try to score some drugs.
I'm
We're
going
gonna
to-
pump into Homer.
I'm
for
going to
next week.
continue to play Stardew Valley.
There we go.
I'll believe it when I hear more.
I'll-
I'm
about
probably
drop-
going to grab some Taco Bell on the way
I'll
home.
drop some acid so that I can understand these new genders a little more, maybe.
Oh my God, yeah, hallucinogenics. We need to
we go.
fucking listen to ourselves melting down
No,
entirely.
we need to get a good lamp with a red bulb, and we'll do that thing
I
where you
have that.
cut ping pong balls in half, put on white noise, where the ping pong ball cut in half over your eyes. Have you heard about that?
That sounds like a wonderful nightmare to me.
You do that, you put on the red light, and you have white noise playing.
And then you open the front curtains so that all of my neighbors feel the burn.
All right, we got to go.
Yeah,
No,
okay.
I have to pee.
Let's
again.
let's end it with a promise to get me to hallucinate.
Yes. One way or another, it'll happen.
Yo, hand me one of those benzos.
All right, bye.
Those sound exciting.